are executors. You get stuff done. You make things happen. In today's world, you've got to think critically to do that. And you've got to simplify complexity by so doing. The other thing is you've got to make the simple and the complex go together. I love the little chart, a student paper, find X. Here it is. By the way, that's simplicity. We have discovered a very simple logic that helps me turn complexity into simplicity. Think of a diamond. Think of a diamond. At the top of the diamond, you frame the problem you're trying to solve. That's kind of the phenomena that we talked about. What is the problem I'm trying to solve? Then you generate options, the wide angle of the diamond. Look at all the things I could do. Then number 3, you evaluate options. And number 4, you mobilize execution. By the way, if you go from 1 to 4 without 2 and 3, you're going to be simplistic. I've got a runny nose. Here's the solution. Put a Kleenex up my nose. That's a horrible example, but it's not going to solve the problem because you've not done your analysis. You've got to get a broad part of the diamond, but you can't stop at the broad part. You've got to focus and explore those options and then focus and mobilize the execution. Let me walk through each of those because this simple diamond logic is so helpful. We were coaching a leader who said, I want to begin to create new product services. I want to change my business strategy. Frame the problem. Be a little more specific. What's the problem you're trying to solve? Frame the problem. Get more clear about what it is we want to do to grow our business. Where will growth come from? Then you generate options. What are all the ways I could grow? Geographic growth, product innovation growth, customer share. Which of those options, number 3, meet our criteria? And then where should we focus? Framing that problem is so critical. Make sure we define the problem right. It's an old story. NASA, the United States Spatial System, said, we have a problem. Our astronauts can't write in space. Let's create a pen so they can write upside down that's anti-gravity. Again, I'm not even sure if this is a true story or apocryphal. The Russian astronaut said, we have another way to frame the problem. The goal is to write in space, not to get a pen that works. Here's a pencil. Again, as the story goes, the U.S. spent millions of dollars creating a pen that worked upside down. The Russians used a pencil. Define your problem. What is it we're trying to solve? Separate the symptom from the problem. What are the underlying problems? Don't solve a symptom, sticking a tissue up your nose. What's the underlying issue we're trying to get to? And state the problem in ways that are focused. Not so broad. We want to make employees more motivated. That's too broad. Not so narrow. Do we have a 5 or 6 point appraisal scale? Too narrow focuses on an event. Too broad focuses on a broad principle that can't be solved. Frame your problem. What's the problem I'm trying to solve? That goes back to the phenomena. What's the issue I'm working with? Then number 2, generate alternatives. We did research on what creates a learning organization. They did 4 things to generate options. You benchmark. Who's good? Who can I take ideas from? Who's the best practice? You experiment. Let's try something. Continuous improvement, a learning organization, or hire new people. Those 4 options will allow me to generate new ways to solve the problem. I benchmark. I learn from others. I experiment. I try new stuff. I do continuous improvement, a quality program, or I bring in somebody new. Step 3, evaluate your options. Given all the things I could do to grow the company, for example, I could grow the company through product innovation. I could grow my company through geographic expansion. I could grow my company through customer share. I've expanded my options. Which one is consistent with my strategy? Which one will create the best financial value? Which one has the best opportunity? Which differentiates me? Which can I get passion around? Those 5 criteria let me filter those options and say, of those 3 ways to grow the company, we're going to do geographic expansion. It's part of our strategy, has the biggest potential value, it's got a great opportunity, it differentiates us, and it creates passion in what we do. Evaluating those options means moving from aspiration to behavior. Our colleague Steve Kerr called that strategic clarity. We want a shared direction on where we're headed. More of, less of. I want to do a geographic expansion. What will we see more of? What will we see less of in 90, 180, and 360 days? That exercise anchors what we're doing. Step 1, define the problem. Generate options. Step 2, to move to the diamond, focus on criteria and manage the criteria so that we can make sure that we evaluate those options. And then step 4, monitor execution. We've learned a great lesson. Go get quick wins. Go get quick wins. What's easy to implement? What's a smaller impact? Get started. I want to be global. Let's go open an office in Africa, in Asia, in an emerging market. Don't try to make a big splash. Start small. And we've discovered in the work that Norm Smallwood and I did with 7 dimensions of sustaining execution. Keep it simple, manage time, build accountability, resource it, track it, ameliorate, improve, and have emotion. We have just taken you through a diamond. How do you simplify complexity? Start with a good question, generate options, evaluate the options, and mobilize commitment and action. Think about a problem you're wrestling with. Can you simplify complexity by going through that diamond exercise? That will help you with execution.